Hi everyone, I'm live. Oh, it's been plucking me eyebrows and I always get a really itchy nose. We're going to be doing a live with Zana today to catch up on the old nutrition and gut health. That's what we're talking about. Excuse the barnet. Haven't done much of it today. I'm working out. Here we go. Hi everyone. Hi everyone. We're going to be doing a live with Zana today, just a catch up on my old gut health, health in general actually, and yeah, just going to do a sort of a roundup of how I'm feeling now after sort of being under Zana's supervision for the last few months. Just waiting for her to join. Hope everyone is well. Isn't it a miserable old day? Do you like my new cup? Look at this new cup. It's got lips on. It's cute, isn't it? My friend Gemma bought it for my birthday. 2 months late. But she got there in the end. Right, let's have a look. God, it's been one of those days. I've just been running around like a blue arse. Hold on a minute. Let's have a look. There's Samantha. Let's wait for Zana. She's not here yet. It's only just 1 o'clock. Let's give her a couple of minutes. Anyway, how are you all? Love the lippy, thank you. It's my orange red. I've literally just thrown it on. It's so easy to throw on. There's the box there. It comes with a pencil sharpener. Yeah, it's the orange red. They've been selling very well, so we're really pleased that they worked out so well. What's everyone doing today? Why is everyone at home this time of day, 1 o'clock? Are you having your lunch? Hi Elizabeth, hi Trish, hi Sam, a little look. Pearl, oh I love the name Pearl. Oh, here she is. There she is. Blue veins in my wrist, that means you're the red blue, the blue red, red blue, yeah.
Hello.
Hi Zan.
How are you?
Yeah, good, you?
I'm very good. Sorry, I'm just turning this volume up. I'm very good. I'm very good.
You look very well. You look like you've been away.
I am away.
Where are you?
I'm in Spain.
Oh.
I'm in Marbella, I'm afraid.
Oh, how lovely. What's the weather like?
Actually, very nice. Cold in the evenings. Cold
Yeah.
at night. But very, very pleasant. It's got a bit warmer during the days. It had cooled down last week and it's now back up into low 20s during the day. So very, very civilized.
Gorgeous. Are you there for Christmas?
Yes.
Oh, lovely. Oh, yeah, you look like you're away. You look like you've got a little bit of sun-kissed face.
I have. I realised that because when you're on Zoom all day, there's a slight sort of fading away of all the freckles. And then you go back on Instagram and you, oh my God, do I have that many freckles?
Yeah, oh, I love your freckles. I've never noticed them before now.
Yes, they've all come out.
Oh, I love them. Yeah, don't hide them. They're pretty. Anyway, how's it going?
Very good. Thank you very much. And how's it going with you?
Yes, all good. All good.
Excellent. Excellent.
We had a chat, didn't we? A one-to-one. And I said that Zana is now the Poo Queen. That's her new title.
Yes, I've been known for many things in my life. That's the first time I've been considered that. But actually, yes, we were coming up with interesting titles for this Instagram live. But yes, have to keep yourself regular if you want to be.
Keep yourself regular. Yes, let's put it nicely. Yes, something that I've always struggled with, and it's been the bane problem of my whole life since I was young, much younger, and tried a million different things to try and fix it. And Zana came up with just the easiest solution ever, and it's worked. And it's worked. So at the moment, so actually, tell Zana, you tell everyone what you told me to do to become regular.
I mean, there's multiple things you can do, and there's more than one reason for being irregular, if you like. But the very fast track route I gave to Donna when other things just weren't working, which I've always found to work. I have to say, genuinely now, I think, I'm stopping to think, has there been one point in my career when I gave this that it didn't work? And I have to say, I genuinely don't think there has.
Oh, really?
I have no recollection of one where this did not work. It's very, very simple. You literally, it's as simple as this. 2 ripe, they don't have to be overly ripe, but they do need to be ripe kiwis. You're not eating the skin. You don't have to eat the skin. Just the 2 ripe kiwis, round about 20 minutes before. You can, but you don't have to. Around about 20 minutes before your breakfast, whenever your breakfast may be. So around about 20 minutes before your first meal. It can be a longer gap before your first meal, as in it doesn't have to be, it could be an hour, but don't have it too close to the first meal. Otherwise the food gets all sort of mixed up and you'll end up just with wind rather than necessarily everything moving through swiftly. But that to me, as I said, I have to think, but I genuinely cannot remember one time that did not work for someone.
I just can't believe nobody in my whole 46 years has never told me it could be that simple. Like, honestly, doctors, nutritionists, health people at health shops. I mean, you know, I'm proud and loud about my problem because I want a solution, because it is such an issue for me. And it's only when you are regular that you feel so much better.
Oh, honestly,
it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and I am now. That is one thing that if I have a client who mentions that, I will make sure we resolve ASAP. I don't think it's something that should be ignored. And again, it's not something that I totally believe that somebody is just that way, if that makes sense. Because
that's right.
Sometimes clients will say to me, well, I've always been like that.
Yeah.
I don't mean this disrespectfully, but I don't care. Let's sort it out.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And you know, I've always been health conscious. So it's not because I'm scoffing loads of crap or anything like that. But even the healthy foods can have a play on your digestive system, maybe.
So I think, yes, what we were kind of going to look at it, because there's other ways to do this and general little hacks and rules to help this and keep the digestion regular. And some of these, oh my gosh, you'll have heard of, and loads of you guys out there will already know, but there might be 1 or 2 little hacks that you didn't quite realize. And I think these can be useful to just keeping an eye on everything moving. A few facts that I find clients don't always know, and it really does help to know. And some of these things, why would you know? If nobody's told you, why would you know? There's some things that I assumed we should know, but how did you just know?
Yeah, no, exactly. All we get offered is that lactulose stuff. You know, that horrible fiber gel stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I'm not telling you not to do it, but I've never recommended that in my life. And I've been doing this a long time. So should I just go through there's about 3, maybe 4 little things that we do on a regular basis that maybe not the absolute obvious ones.
Do.
One of the things I think people often don't realize is calcium binds us. So calcium can cause constipation. And by that calcium, I'm thinking in terms of calcium-rich foods.
Right. So like cheese, dairy,
yogurt, dairy, exactly. Calcium-rich foods.
Okay.
Now, there's benefits in there. That's not to say, oh, you need to avoid it if you. And in order to counteract that, magnesium is the lovely supplement that's the other side of that coin that keeps everything moving. So calcium tightens and contracts, magnesium relaxes and helps everything move along. It's why magnesium is so good for muscle relaxing, it's so good for the heart and all that side of it. So if you are increasing your calcium rich foods and dairy intake, you need to then consider increasing magnesium. A lot of people take magnesium anyway. And they might say, they might take 200 milligrams of a type of magnesium at night before bed, for example. Now, if you suddenly decide, you know what, I'm no longer going to have my eggs and toast in the morning, but I'm going to have nuts and yogurt. Now you've upped your calcium. You might find you need to up your magnesium with it.
Right, okay. And what's the maximum amount of magnesium you can take that's okay?
Oh, there's, it depends what you read. It can go quite high. Personally, and it also depends on what type and how, and we're talking about elemental magnesium rather than the whole sort of mix. I sort of think around about 800 milligrams a day would be my sort of cut-off point.
Okay.
But there's research to show you can take a lot more of that for longer, and if it was only one day, it's not going to do any harm, so to speak. It's a little bit of common sense with it. With magnesium, my general rule of thumb is if you increase it too much, you'll just find everything moves rather quickly.
Too quickly, so you'll
So,
know. Yeah, okay, right. So you'll be warned, yeah.
Yeah. So I would take myself, now I do like my calcium rich products. I do take the casein protein, for example. I will occasionally have yogurt or kefir. I will occasionally have cheese, that kind of thing. So I will do that. And I find, and I think also particularly time in life, perimenopause, menopause, our bodies seem to use the magnesium quite readily for a number of things. Yeah. So I personally take between 400 up to 600 milligrams a night. Now, not everybody would need that amount. I just need to be very clear. So most would find 200 to 400 milligrams is enough. But
how long before bed do you take that?
I take it as I get into bed. I have my containers. The reason we made in strong nutrients containers pretty is because I need to put them on a countertop to remember.
So you'll take them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I need to be looking at them.
Yeah. Well, I have my strong nutrients magnesium next to my bed as well, so I take them at night time. But maybe I need to up. That's a good idea. Like to up them on days I know I'm eating more calcium. Yeah.
Yeah, you can, and you can take it with the food if you wish.
Yeah.
You can take it for bed. I had a client that I was speaking to this morning just about this, and she'd be taking 2 at night. Every now and again, she finds she needs the 3rd, and it was her doctor now, her hormonal doctor, that said, "Why are you only doing that 3rd one every now and again? Would you not just take that every day?"
Oh, right. Yeah. There you go.
Again, I'm not saying people need the 600 milligrams. Most people I know, it's between 200 to 400 is plenty, genuinely. But that makes a difference. So that's the first little hack. Calcium versus magnesium. Calcium-rich foods, you probably will need more magnesium. And you do get magnesium in your leafy greens and all that kind of thing.
Yes, the food,
It can also depend how much of those you're eating,
well, exactly, yeah.
And then the second thing is this order of play. And again, I believe many will have heard this before, but the order of play of food. Fruit digests the most quickly. Straight through, straight out.
Right.
Raw vegetables next.
Yeah.
Cooked vegetables next, and then you've kind of got your protein and all the and kind of the rest I'm going to put after that for simplicity. Obviously, you've got the kind of grains like the porridges and things would fall into that mix, somewhere probably between around about the cooked vegetables level. It depends on how well they're cooked and how much you eat and so on and so forth. But the reason I'm going the fruit and the salads first is, if you throw fruit in the mix of a food or have it at the end of the meal, which a lot of people do from a digestive point of view, and I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, it's not that useful for helping keep you regular.
Right.
It's very useful when it's left on its own to have a free run at things.
Okay, yeah, so have it before meals.
Have it before the meal, and a raw salad have before the meal. I know when I go to visit family in France or Italy, the salad is always at the second, it's the other side. It's never at the beginning. I have to sort of pull it back as they look at me going, "Why are you doing that?" And I'm doing it because I want to keep myself regular. I'm doing it to get the body digestion kind of moving. So the raw salad first tends to work much better from that point of view. Okay. And then the third really and final thing I'm going to say, and that's kind of fairly straightforward, the mix of fruit doesn't always work as well. So if you had a kiwi and a handful of berries, I don't think that works anywhere as well. Or if you had a fruit salad with kiwi in it on its own as a breakfast, that can work for some now. But if you really need to keep everything moving, I think you're better off keeping to one fruit, and that kind of a fleshy one like a kiwi is particularly good. Apples with their pectin, I find no use whatsoever. Just saying. Right. So some people tell me, but I have a couple of apples. I don't think that works. The pectin.
No, apples don't. No. And can you get kiwi supplements that would do the same thing or not? I'm only thinking because when I travel, sometimes like you can't get kiwis. What do I do then?
Actually, that's a great question with the travel. Actually, there's a few things on the travel front. So. Not that I know of, and even if you did, I don't think they'd be as good because you're looking. It's the bulk you're having.
The fibre, and
yes, it's that whole. And if it was too, and again, and it's why an underripe kiwi wouldn't work as well. You need it.
Yeah, I think so.
When traveling, there's again a few little tips that I find make a difference. First is try and keep to the same rhythm every day. I used to go every year, actually more than once a year, off to Greece on a little holiday with friends. And I could never understand how. I just assumed it's the travel, maybe I get dehydrated the plane, maybe it's the heat, but every time I'd go, I'd be slightly constipated. Every single time.
I am. Wherever I go on holiday, Yeah.
Every time. And then one day I considered it and tracked it through and realized actually every time I go, I change my eating pattern.
I know.
So the time of when I eat changes. My
Yeah.
breakfast time gets earlier.
Yeah.
Whereas normally I'd wake up and I have a rhythm, and there is that circadian rhythm. Your body has it. It knows what to expect and it's lining itself all up. And then suddenly go throw a meal in the middle of that whole rhythm. It sort of kind of has to backtrack.
Throws it out.
To
Yeah.
deal with it. And I realized when I stuck to the same eating times.
Right.
So I'm not recommending people necessarily do this. My favorite thing when I wake up is my coffee. I'm not saying that's the best thing someone should do. It's what I do and I really like. It's my rhythm.
Yeah.
And I would find it when I go to Greece and then just decided I'm going to stick to the exact same rhythm.
Yes.
Have my coffee more or less at the same time, have my first bite to eat at more or less the same time. That solved it.
Really? Right. Okay. Yeah, that's really good to know. Yeah.
So I think when you suddenly move all your hours of eating, your body hasn't finished, because that digestive process, it's not a few minutes. It's almost a 24-hour cycle for most.
Yes,
when
yeah.
when you're clearing out. Some people it's longer, some people it's shorter, but it's not an instant.
No. And the problem with that, especially when you go long haul, like that starts the minute you get on the plane. You get given a dinner, it could be 2 in the morning, you know,
Exactly.
and you
When
eat
would
it
you
because
eat a
you're
dinner
given
like
it.
that at 2 in the morning?
Yeah, and then you're like, why am I eating at 2 in the morning? I'd be asleep at home, but you take it because it's food and it smells good.
And it's something to do.
Yeah, yeah. So from the second I get on the plane, it's all out of kilter.
Yes. And that's
you've got to be really strict with yourself and go, I'm not eating that.
If you just hold your timing and keep it the same, I think that makes all the difference in the world. All the difference in the world.
Yeah,
it really does. Yes. So it's that, and there's some that would argue that that helps with jet lag too. That if
I imagine.
The time of when you eat. So if you're normally, let's say it's 1 o'clock in the UK, and what would that be? 6 hours behind, maybe 7 in the morning in the US at some point. If you try and keep the timing the same, so if you normally eat your breakfast, brunch, lunch at 1, you try and do it at 7 over there, or vice versa. Now that's easier done. So I'm not going to. I would lie if I said I've ever done that, but I do know people that swear by that they gradually change the timing.
Oh, right, okay, slowly.
In one hit, and they find that sorts the jet lag out too. Now, I don't know that, I won't say categorically, I'm just speaking from people I know who have said Yes. So yes. Now, the other thing though is if you are constipated abroad, I think taking the magnesium helps. I really do. And I would take an extra 1 or 2 at night before I go to bed. I think that is helpful. And then I'm not a huge believer in drinking loads of water generally, because I think people drown themselves from the outside or the inside
out. I think I was doing that as well. You said I was drinking so much water to help flush me through, but it wasn't. It was.
That can sometimes it almost can feel like it has the opposite effect. You can just feel more bloated. So I'm not a huge believer in that generally, but I do find if you're flying, I sometimes think it helps just to kind of keep it all rehydrated and I do think. So the extra magnesium I find helps. The other thing that helps, surprisingly, and anyone who's already taken this might have noticed, the vitamin B5, the chill pill can be helpful. It's chilpin and strong nutrients. It's vitamin B5, the pantothenic acid. It's involved with our digestion. Now, most people are taking it because of its support on the adrenals, and we relax better and so on and so forth. The adrenals are functioning better, but it's directly involved with the digestion of proteins and carbohydrates. So it does also help digestion directly and indirectly for those who may suffer with stress-related digestive issues like IBS and the likes. It can also be very helpful because it's helping the adrenal glands with that. So they can kind of help in a slightly indirect way.
Right. Okay. Amazing.
I'm smiling.
I'll be watching this video over and over again whenever I'm,
whenever in doubt.
Not regular.
Honestly, when we get to the end, we will just come back to the one point that worked. There's a few other things that are good to know. But the one point that worked, which were those 2 kiwis, it does. As I said, I don't think I found that one to fail. I have to say, I think I am being honest in terms of my memory, but I'm trying to remember, have I? And I've been doing this a long time. I've been in the nutritional business since I was about 18, so just way too many.
Yeah. I mean, I'm now not eating the 2 kiwis every day now. I can go sort of every third day.
Brilliant.
I'm still going regularly every day, but I'm doing the kiwis probably every third day, because I was thinking, if I'm going, so that's good. And then I don't want my body to get too used to it that it doesn't work. So I'm trying to swap around when I have those kiwis.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason you're taking these is to keep yourself regular. So you take them as is working for you. So if that's once a week or once a day. I don't think, in my experience, I don't think your body's going to, it's not like a drug. It's just fiber, if you think about it. It's a natural fibrous food. So you won't become, in inverted commas, reliant on it. Or immune to it, or that kind of thing. No, that really shouldn't happen at all now.
Brilliant.
But equally, I think you're spot on. With any of these, the whole purpose of them is to actually, it's to get the goal. It's not the kiwi. It's the moving of everything else.
Yes,
I do think it's important that people do go, sorry, now this is the slide, and I don't mean it to sound like the lecture, but this is the slight sort of encouragement. If your digestion isn't regular, and if you're not going daily, I do think you should look at ways to help your body get rid of everything, because I don't think it's good not to, from a health point of view.
100%.
Yeah, I think and you do, as you say, feel so much better when
it changes my whole day if I've been. And if I don't, I can't even explain. Only people that have this will know the feeling of, you know, when you've been, you feel like a different person. You feel like the toxins are out of your body.
Yeah.
You know, you feel lighter, happier, everything. So I mean, I think I would just do anything you can do to try and get to go regularly. But the kiwis, just do the kiwis. It's that easy.
Just do the kiwis. Well,
and I eat the skin on. I eat the whole thing.
Oh, do you eat the whole thing?
Not the two little ends.
I mean, that will
but
work
I eat the whole thing.
That will work even better. But you don't even have to.
It's getting too messy. Because I would carry them out and about with me. I mean, I just look ridiculous always with my 2 kiwis in my bag. And I'd be trying to like peel it and eat it. I said, oh, soddy, I'm just going to eat the whole thing. And that's why I really like the skin now.
Well, that will work even better. Yes,
exactly.
And you might find, like, people might find, oh gosh, if they don't like kiwis, you might find other ones that you know you'd like to use. So I would suggest, if it's not kiwis, I find 2 tends to work very well. So you could go, for example, peaches or something like that. So a fleshy type of fruit, not overly sweet, but ripe. So it needs to be soft. If it's green or slightly underripe, it doesn't quite do the same, and you might just find you get a bit gassy. So you want it ripe. So just pick another fleshy type fruit. I don't find it works as well with citrus. I don't find it works quite as well as with berries, but berries would still be helpful. Now, it's not saying the other help. I just don't find it hits home as direct. And then things like apples and bananas, I wouldn't find much use. Mangoes can be quite good, but again, it's the fleshier,
taking
kind of ripe, slightly on just it's sweet, but not overly sweet. Not overly.
Yeah. Got you. No. Well, amazing. I mean, I'm so happy I've done this with you over the last few months, and like it has changed my life. Like, you know, it really has changed my life. So,
you were very funny. You came to me one day, so Donna came to me one day and she says, I've just been to Holland and Barrett, and I've just been out, and I was looking at her going, why am I here if you're running off there to get this advice? Poor Donna, she got a new.
I was like, anything to help me poo, I'm asking everybody.
But nobody ever
was like, just
help
do
me.
The kiwis. Maybe I'd known that 10 years ago. Brilliant. Oh, yeah. Fix their eating habits and fitness habits, everything. So
you're very, very welcome. You've done it clearly wonderfully well. Yes, and as I said, that's the main thing of all of this. The 25 minutes of talking, it was back to those 2 kiwis. That's really all we needed to say.
That's it.
We'll reiterate. calcium-rich products, so your casein-rich products, you will likely need more magnesium. So you do need to just increase it. Increasing magnesium can often do the trick. For those of you who don't want to do kiwis, most people I find just increasing the magnesium solves it. Quite frankly, I really do. And then things like the raw vegetables, if you have them first, if you're someone who eats a salad anyway, if you can just shuffle it to the beginning of the meal, and you don't have to wait 10 minutes, you can just eat the meal after it. That I find makes a difference too. So there's multiple things. And then obviously, and the reason I'm going into those kind of foods, because obviously grains can help and so on and so forth. But a lot of people, a lot of clients I'm working with, we're trying to get into better shape as well and stabilize the insulin. So I'm encouraging them to reduce the reliance on the grains just for that reason, actually. So if you're easing off them, then the alternatives is to move this way that we've just mentioned.
Brilliant. Excellent. So if anybody's got any questions, put them down below, and Zana will answer them if you've got any digestive problems. Don't be embarrassed. We've got to talk about it. But thank you, Zana. Thank you so much.
Very welcome. Well, thank you.
And I'll be in touch the minute something stops. I'll be in touch. So don't worry.
Well, as I smiled at the beginning, and as I said, well, a week in, it's still good, but let's wait and see.
Let's wait and see.
You're not believing me. I think it's been how long? A month now?
Oh 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah.
It wasn't just a quick fix.
No. It's permanent.
It was a quick fix, but it worked.
Brilliant. Oh.
Thank you. Well, happy Christmas to everybody.
Happy Christmas. Have a wonderful time in Spain.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
thank you.
lucky lady. All right, darling. Well, take care.
You too.
Speak to you soon. Speak in the new year.
Yes, you will.
Bye. Take care, Zan. Bye.
Bye-bye.